So this is the second time shooting this because I need to make it more concise for LinkedIn, something I'm not very good at, but I'll try. So this is just a quick summary on how you can influence large language models and especially large language models search function, because GPT search has just been released and it's massively going to change the landscape in the SEO industry and search industry in general. So thought this would be the perfect time to shoot a quick video on how LLMs work and how we can influence them. Worth me referencing a quote from Randy Fishkin's article on the 21st of October, which is worth looking at, just explaining how LLMs work. But then he also references Stephen Wolfram's article in 2023, which is where this image is from. It's in the SparkToro article. So Randy Fishkin's, it goes on to say the currency of large language models is mentioned specifically words that appear frequently near other words across the training data. What this is saying is, based on the data set the LLM has, what is the highest predictor, or what words have the highest probability of coming next, or entities have the highest probability of coming next, and they'll look at semantically related words and entities and phrases, and then that's what the GPT will output. And so it's all based on mentions rather than links. This is how search is changing more significantly, I think, with the use of large language models for search, is instead of links carrying authority and that being the currency and the carrying probably the greatest weight in terms of an ability to rank. Now it's how often are you mentioned by what I would refer to as seed sites. And seed sites have been something in the SEO industry for quite a while. There wasn't any real confirmation that they existed up until the API link. So there was an Google API leak in about 6 months ago. And I think it was called nearest seeds attribute, something like that. It's API nearest seeds attribute, I believe it was called. And that was an indicator that seed sites existed and they were embedded within Google's algorithm. And so they do carry more influence in terms of your ability to rank than, I guess, any other niche site. So an example of this is Tom's Guide or PCM Mag, which I'll show you in a second. Their weight for consumable tech products, in terms of if you want to rank for best video editing software, that's a really bad example. Best laptop for video editors. If Tom's Guide or PCM Mag wrote an article and included a link and a mention to your site, that is going to carry more weight than I say news publication, including a link and mention to your site, because they're a relevant seed site, as well as it carrying more weight than I guess a lesser known and lesser trusted tech consumable based site. So seed sites, quick summary, are super important in terms of influencing both now large language models, because if you look at GPT and look at its sources, that's where it's getting its most of its sources from, those core seed sites, and listicle based sites and directory based sites, as well as it influencing like traditional SEO, and in the Google search results, those seed sites will typically be the ones which are displaying more often, and the ones which carry the most weight if you get a link from them for your specific niche. As we mentioned, not just number of mentions. So this hopefully will give you a good vision on how seed sites work, and how the page rankability and weight is, I guess, less influential the further down you go, and the further away from the seed sites you are. So, obviously touched on that. Links now less important, more related to mentions and brand mentions. How do you get yourself in these top niche based sites or listicle based sites and directories? I'll just show you an example of what I mean as well. So I did a few different searches. Let me show this. So I've done best kitchen fitters London, New York emergency electrician, best New York emergency electrician. So I'm going to show you some local as well as your like traditional organic results, and then best laptop for video editors. That's what I was just referring to. So I'll start with this one. You can see here PCM Mag, Tom's Guide, Trusted Reviews. These are all like huge tech roundup based sites, and again what I would refer to as a seed site. And so getting in these publications will be hugely influential. And so using techniques like digital PR to get in touch with the authors or the publication and say, how can we work with you guys to get into the next roundup or into this existing roundup? We've got a really good product. We believe it has these features. Sometimes it might just be monetary. And so who do I need to pay? Or how do I get through a back door? Obviously, this is a quite an extreme example because these are huge sites. But as you niche down and go more long tail, it should be easier to break into those listicles. Like some of the local based searches, this is really interesting because my assumption is best kitchen fitters London would bring up a range of different sources, but they've just pulled Trusted Trader, and we know GPT is signing partnerships with certain data sources or like sites and publications. And so Trusted Trader potentially is a GPT partner, or they're just looking at using Trusted Trader because it's the easiest source which they can pull trusted information from. I don't know. This is going to involve, I guess, a bit more digging and time. But if we also look at the results, I'll show you this result here. Best New York emergency electrician, and we look at sources. There's a few different sources in here as well as someone's actual site. But Angie and Trust Analytica are both like directory and review sites. Trust Analytica 65 DR, which is the same as Domain Authority if you're unsure, and like 51,000 search traffic. Not huge, but my guess is reputable enough and probably seen as one of the trusted sources by GPT for like local service businesses and local service based searches. Same with Angie. So where are they mentioning the? So they've got electricians listed in here, and super interestingly, they're using Bing display or using a Bing Maps display, and in the result above, the sources are actually just the sites from these electricians, from these electrician sites. But Bing doesn't have a proprietary review software. Review system. I believe they used to. I can't. For some reason, I believe they used to, but they don't. They rely on other third parties to pull their like aggregate reviews in and average review ratings, and so it's really important that your listing is in Bing, but super important that you are prominent across major niche relevant directories and review based sites, and especially ones which align with your industry. So if I did a search for best restaurant for fish, London. That'd be best fish restaurant, London. But this should pull up Trustpilot or TripAdvisor as the main sources. Let's see. Oh, it's not going to give me them. Oh, here on the side. Interesting, it doesn't. But here we go. TripAdvisor is one, but Eater London, Londonist, Open Table. So these are your typical, reputable, like restaurant or entertainment-based and travel-based sites. Luxury London, Michelin Guide, and so it's a horses for courses. If you are an electrician, a kitchen fitting site, any of the sort of service-based, you want to be in these directory-based results. So Trusted Trader, Angie, Trust Analytica. Whereas if you're a restaurant, it's really important that you're getting in TripAdvisor. If you're in London, Luxury London seems to be an important one, Michelin Guide. And so doing everything you can to outreach those companies and not only get a link for you sort of standard search engine ability to rank, but mentions and I guess mentions and brand descriptions and just being prominent in these roundup sites and review-based sites is going to have a really good impact in your ability to be shown within large language model search functions. Okay, so hopefully that was helpful. I think I've covered everything. Let me just fire back onto the Notion. Oh yes, Reddit. Let me quickly discuss Reddit. So this is 12 minutes now, so I'll try and make it quick. Reddit, if you don't know, signed a Google partnership about 6-7 months ago. Their ability to rank before was second to none. Their ability to rank now is second to none. They just dominate so much of Google and search. They're also selling data to large language models. So your ability to get into Reddit and be shown in review-based threads and be shown positively within review-based threads is not going to have a really good impact on your traditional search results and how often you're shown in the top 10 in like a traditional SERP, but also how you're going to be shown and displayed within large language models, because we know GPT and other LLMs also utilize Reddit to influence what they show. So that's something which we also do in-house, as well as link building and outreach to more prominent and sort of seed-based niche sites. So if you are interested in, I guess, influencing large language model results, then hit us up or speak to your agency and see if that's something they can do. I think that is everything. So let me know if you've got any questions. Hope this is helpful. Sorry for the 14-minute waffle. But yeah, drop me a message if you're interested.